Something of a side-splitting nature must have occurred to Westminster Jonathan, for a grand big blossy hearty stentorious laugh, even Drudge that laid doggos thought feathers fell, hopped out of his woolly's throat like a ball lifted over the head of a deep field at the bare thought of how jolly they'd like to be trolling his whoop, and all of them true to types in Miss-Amen massness. We're just starting to splatter-sploder with the jolly Magorios. Hickey, hecky, hock. Huge as huge as huge as Huey, Huey, Huey. Oh, John, so jokeable and so geepy. Oh, thou pure, our virgin, thou holy, our health, thou strong, our victory. O salutary, sustain our firm solitude, thou who thou well strokest. Here, hairy ones, we have sued thee, but late beauty follows, when suddenly how like a woman swifter as the mercury he wheels right round, sternly on the ritzy suddenly, with his gimlets blazing rather sternish, how black like thunder, to see what's loose. So they stood still and wondered, till first he sighed, and how ill suffered, and they nearly cried the salt of the earth, after which he pondered, and finally he replied, there is something more, a word a parting, and shall the heart's tone be silent, engagements I'll beseal you, fare thee well, fare thee well. All I can tell you is this, my sorrelies, its prayers in lairs all the thumping time. Begore, the young glorious gangs voices, the old doxologies, in the suburbs of the heavenly gardens, once we shall have passed all surceases, all serene through neck and neck like Darby and June, to our snug eternal retribution's reward, the Scorch House. Shuntus, shuntus, shuntus. If you want to be Felixed, come and be parked sacred ease there. The Seanad and Pobal queues remained to it. Seek it head up. No petty family squabbles up there, nor homemade hurricanes in our cohort yard, no copper hurling, no apocalypse, nor no puncheon jodling, and nor no nothing. With the Burns, which is far better, and Eve forever your idol be. You will hardly reconnoitre the old wife in the new bustle, and the farmer Shinner in his latter-day paint. It's the full-dressed two saints' wake walks expedition after a bail motion from the chamber of horrors, saffron buns or saffron bunarms, whichever you're avid to like it and lump it, but give it a name. Irene all over Ireland's. And there's food for refection when the whole flock's at home. Hog many day you get, hog money the smelly gut, and hog money the smelly pottery gut. You take Joe Honey's tip for it, post-mortem is the goods, with jollification a tight second. To borrow and to borrow and to borrow. That's our crass, hairy and ever grim life. Till one final howdy-dow, bouncer Naster raps on the bell, with the bone and his stinkers stank behind him, with the sceptre and the hourglass. We may come and touch and go, from atoms and ifs, but we're pressurely destined to be odds without ends. Here we moult in Moy Cane and flop on the seamy side, living sure of hardly a doorstep for a stopgap, with who goes there and a live sandbag round the corner. But up my aunt, prospector, you sprout all over your able and woof your wings, dead certain, however, of nothing whatever to eye, forever while Hyam's in the chair. Ah, sure, pleasantries aside, in the tail of the cow, what a humpty-dome earth looks, our miserime. Here today, as compared beside the here-where again gaieties of the afterpiece, with the royal revolver, all these real globos, that regally fire of his mea culpa for the Christmas pandemon to give over, and the harlequinade to begin properly, squeaking Mark Time's finished joke, putting all space in a nutshell. Well, the slice and veg joint's well in its way, and so is the rib roast and jackknife, a sport and dish, but home cooking every time, mountains good mustard, and with the helpings of ladies' lackfings and gentlemen's relish, I've eaten a griddle, but I feel twice as stew hard what I felt before when I'm after eating a few natives. The crisp of the crackling is in the chewing. Give us another cup of your scald, Santos Mozos. That was a damn good cup of scald. You could trot a mouse on it. I enjoyed your pick of hissing hot luncheon fine. I did, thanks, awfully sublime. Tenderest bully ever I ate with the boiled Protestants. Alanoilia, only for your peas again. Was a taste of too salty to carry flavour with my go down, and hereby return with my best of savoury condiments, and a penny in the plate for the James. Okay. Oh, Cosmos, Island, AI for the Kale Canon Cabis Gimme. Since the natus with Italian, but see we all poco. Sickalic cheese, haggis good, haggis strong, haggis never say die. For quid we have recipe, oh lout. And save that Oliviero for thy sunny day. Soup meagre couldn't look at it. But if you'll buy me yon coat with the very furry best, I'll try and pull it on me. It's in fairly good order, and no doubt will serve it to turn. Remove this boardcloth. Next stage, tell the tabler for a variety of Huguenot legumes. I'll try my set on edges grapeling and eggery dukes, grilled over birchen rods with a few bloomin' cowls in Albies. I want to get outside monasticism. Mast and meat, no man's journey, eat a mizzle less. Nuts for the nerves, a flitch for the flu, and for to rejoice the chambers of the heart, the spirits of the Spice Isles. Curry and cinnamon, chutney and cloves, all the vital minds is beginning to suzzle in tune. And the harmonies to clangle, fudgem, cates and eaps, and nabok and erics, and onos and king clud. And XOXX, OXO, and XOOXXOXXOX, OXXOXXX, till I'm fussed fed like fungs stiff. And very presently from now, post-haste, it's off you'll see me while on my usual rounds again to draw, terminus lower, and kill a down, and let a douche, let a speak, let a book, a litter anime, and the roomiest house even in Ireland, if you can understamp that in my next item's platform. It's how I'll try and collect my extra professional postages, owing to me by Thaddeus Kelly Esquire. DR for non-desirable printed matter. The Dukes and the Kelly Cooks have been milking turnkeys and sucking the blood out of the Marshalsea since the Act of First Offenders, but I know what I'll do. Great pains off him I'll take, and that'll be your red letter day, being milking turnkeys and sucking the blood out of the Marshalsea since the Act of First Offenders, But I know what I'll do, great pains off him I'll take, and that'll be your red letter day, being milking turnkeys. Calendar window Mackay, I'll knock it out of him, I'll stomp it out of him, I'll rat-a-tat it out of him before I'll quite the doorstep of old Connolly's residence. By the horn of 20 of both of the two Saints Gollopies, blackmail him I will in arrears, or my name's not Penitent Ferdinand, and it's daily and hourly I'll nurse him till he pays me fine fee. Emil. Well, here's looking at ye. If I never leave you biddies, till my stave is a bar, I'd be tempted rigidly to become a passionate father. Me hunger's weighed, hung kung, me anger's swaged, hang kang. Ye can stop as ye are, little lay mothers, and wait in wish in vain, till the grey reaper draws nigh with the sickle of the sickles. As a blessing in disguise, devil a curly hair I care, if any light foot clod dew veil was to hold me up, disturbing at me, and marauding me of my rights to my onus. Yan Tian, Tretherer Metherer Pimp, I'd let him have my best pair of galloper's heels in the cream sour. He will have better manners, I'm dished if he won't. Console yourself, draw hure, dealish. There's a refund of egg-sized coming to you out of me, so mind you do me duty on me, bruise your bulge below the belt till I blue black beside you, and you'll miss me more as the nowering weeks ring by. Some day duly, one day truly, Tuesday duly till Wednesday. Look for me always at my west, and I'll think to dine. A tear of two in time is all there's to't. And then in a click of the clock, toot toot and doff doff, we pop with cinnarettes in silkets lining long goots, for his diligence, majesty, our long distance lad, that likes creation to whoosh. Mish, mish, yes, pet. We were too happy. I knew something would happen. I understand, but listen, draw here nearest. Tissy intercepted, flushing but flashing from a dove, and dart eyes as she tactilifully grabbed her male correspondee to flush her with sweet nonsense in his quick-turned ear. I know, Benjamin, brother, but listen, I want girls palmassing to whisper my wish. She like them, like us, me and you. Had thou'd he ne'er it would halten, so lithe when leased in tacit tempest tongue. Of course, engine dear, I'm ashamed for my life, I must clear my throttle over this lost moment's gift of a memento nosepaper, which I'm sorry, my precious, is all a foam. I with grief can call my own, but all the same, listen, Gionuk, accept my wit-wee's might, though a Jenny teeny wit-wee in peace torn in one place from my hands, in second place of a liner hall, Valentino with my fondest and much left to tutor, XXXX. It was heavily bull-addicted for young father my pettest parish priest, and you know who between us by your friend the Pope 40 ways and 40 nights, that's the beauty of it, look, seen it, ratty, too perfectly priceless for words, and listen now, do enhance me, oblige me, fiancé, and bear it with your mourn till life's sane, and, of course, whenever you make usage of it, listen, please. Kindly think always, again and again, never forget, of one absendi not sester Maggie ahem. That's the stupidest little cough. Only be sure you don't catch your cold and pass it on to us. And since leveret bounds and larks is soaring, Don't be all the night, and this joke a sprig of blue speedwell, just a spell of flora Laura, so you'll mind your Veronique. Of course, Jer, I know, you know who sends it presents that please mercy on the face of the waters, like that film about Orfly Charming, of course, but it doesn't do her justice, apart from her cattiness in the mangin bottle. Of course, please to write, won't you, and leave your little bag of doubt inquisitive behind you onto the utterly thine, and thank you forwarded back by return. Pigeons Noy. To the loving in case I couldn't think who it was, of any fun for all happens. I'll be so curious to see in the Holmesworth breakfast tablets, as I'll know either ways that by pity, blow, if it's good for my system, what exquisite buttons, gorgios, in case I don't hope to see and hear from you. And thanks ever so many for the 10 and the 1 with nothing at all on. I'll be a tie knot in my string Egypt to letter you with my silky paper, as I'm given now to understand it will be worth my price in money one day, so don't trouble to ans, unless sent by special, as I'm getting his pay in once for nothing, so I can live simply and solely from my wonderful kinklists and its loops of loveliness. When I throw away my wallets, there's rings for all. Fleer girl says it is her colour, so does B and L, and as for V, and listen to it, chevelure so distant you always bow your bosh. Absolutely perfect. I will pack my comb and mirror to praxis, oval O's and artless oars, and it will follow you, pull pickly as far as come back, under all my eyes like a sapphire chaplets of ring a rosary. I will say for you to the all Michael and solve quipri, while the doves pick my mouth buds, mush mush, with Nurse Madge, my linking class girl. She's a fright, poor old Dutch, in her sleep talking, when I paint the measles on her and mud stockers to make her a man. Wee, Izzy done that, I confess, but you love her for her Hessians and sickly black stockies, Clearing's jumble salvaged from the wash. Isn't it the cat's tonsils? Simply killing how she tidies her hair. I call her Sosie because she's society for me, and she says saucy while I say sassy, and she says, will you have some more scones? While I say, won't you take a few more schools? And she talks about Ethel dear, while I simply never talk about Ethel darling. But she's nice for enticing my friends, and she loves your style. Considering the breaks in me shoes for me when I've arch trouble, and she would kiss my right arms for me so gratefully. But apart from that, she's terribly nice really, my sister, round the elbow of Elm Street lower, and I'll be strictly forbidden always, and true in my own way, in private where I will long be true you along, with one who will be betrue you, that not once while I betrue him, not once well he will be betray himself. Can't you understand? Oh bother, I must tell the truth. My latest lad's lovely letter, I am so I done something with. I like him lots 'cause he never cusses. Pity bonhomme, pipette. I shouldn't say he's pretty, but I'm cocksure he's shy. Why, I love taking him out when I unlatched his cordon gate. Ope, Jake, and ate him. Oh, Beelby, my adorers, and he dote so. He fell for my lips, for my lisp, for my lewd speaker, I felt for his strength, his manhood, his do you mind? There can be no candle to hold to it, can there? And of course, dear Professor, I understand. You can trust me that though I change thy name, though not the letter, never while I become engaged with my first horsepower, master thief of hearts, I will give your lovely face of mine away, my boyish Bob, not for tons of donkeys to my second mate, with the twirlers, the engineer of the pasture flower. Oh, the wicked untruth, what a tell, that he has bought me in this Wellington's what I've got. In one of those pure, clean lubstocks of yours, thankfully, of the paskies, no matter what. You may be certain of that, Fluff. Now I know how to tackle. Lock my merest next myself, so don't keep me now for a good boy for the love of my fragrant saint, you villain. Peppering with fear my godless, graceless, I'll first murder you. But Visper meet me after by next appointment near, you know, ships, just there beside the ship at the future pool, fool's circuits of love, Mountjoy Square, to show my disrespects now. Let me just your Caroline for you. I must really so late, sweet pig, you'll be furious. How he stalks to himself, louther and lover, immutating approbably. My prince of the courts who'll beat me to love, and I'll be there when who knows where, with the objects of which I'll no more forget. We say, trust us, our game for fun, the dargle shall run dry the sooner, you deny. Whoever he heard of such a think, till the almost of all Elmos shall steal our hearts are stoned. And Mrs. Amara makes it up and be friends with Mrs. O'Morum. I will write down all your names in my gold pen and ink. Every day precious while memory's leaves are falling deeply on my young Frau's Mesonga-book. I will dream telepath post dulcets on this isinglass stream, but don't tell him, or I'll be the mort of him under the libans and sycamores. The cypresses and Babylonias, where the frond oak rushes to the ask, and the yew leaves to kiss themselves, and 'twill carry on my harsh waves, my still waters' reflections in words over Margaret, von Hungaria her quady ways and her flavin hair. To thee, Jack, ahoy, beyond the boisterous splash of hish-splash, springs your salmon, twick, twick, twinkle, twings, my twilight a Saturday. Afternoon Lex Sleep will smile on my fore-enhanced 12 months' mind. And what's this I was going to say, Dean? Oh, I understand. Listen. Here I'll wait on thee till Thingavala with beautiful, do be careful, tea cakes. More stewasser flavoured than vanilla and blackcurrant, there's a cure in, like a born gentleman till you resemble me all the time you're while away, I swear to you I will by Candlemas. And listen, Joey, don't be annoyed with me, my old Avenue, when by the end of your chapter you sitch water on the wagon for me being turned a star, I'll do bury my 2 feces under the pout's Venetia cream, their way for spilling cream, and accent, to extend my personality to the latents. I'll bore me for myself only out of my expensive rainproof of pink elephants breathe grey, of the loveliest, sheerest, dearest widowshood over Air Force blue. I am so wild for my precious wants. Hope Rose, Face Street, Charity Corner, as the bee loves her sky-high deed, for I always had a crush on heliotrope since the dusses of yore cycled round the finest park. And listen, and never mind me laughing at whatever. I was in the nerves. But it's my last day, always about this hour. I'm sorry when our gaming's for bruin, and nose long is all. Oh, you tease and afternoon, my little pussiness. I steal Heimlich in my Russians for the attraction apart with my terrible tale. Boots, Carl's catcher, pincher, pop-off, who is going to be Jenny Roll at my nape-drenched love, with dripping too affectionate slap, mamma, but at last night look after my golden violence, wetting in my upper stairs splendidly, well illuminated with such lady-like curtains, wallpapered to match the cat and fire. Please keep looking at priceless pialogues. I just want to see, will he or are all my Kyles like that? I'll strip straight after devotions before his fond stare, and I mean it too. Thy gape to my gazing, I'll bind and make leash, and poke stiff under my eisen bound with my soi-disant chin-knees, cheek-chuppy chambermaid from the night's foreign mails, and your name of Shane will come forth between my shame-faced wessen with other lips. I nakest open my sight, when just woken by his tockatootle my first morning, so now to Sork Thildish Thome, seated with Mag at the oil fan, we are doing to they one little player before doing to deed, and a tis to the tassie for Lou and for two. Coach me how to tumble, Jame, and listen. With supreme regards, one. In haste, warn me, which to